What's up, people? It's your man, Urban Lover, coming from your mama's basement, baby, and you know the deal. I kind of talk about my man, Nick Young. Now, Nick Young, I said it before in a couple of videos that I wanted to see Nick Young start, only because based on the preseason, he was playing pretty good defense. He had a new attitude. He's a changed individual. I'm hoping that he's a changed individual. Time will tell. I won't be so quick to, be biased and say, oh, well, yeah, he's a new man. Because sometimes when you get ahead of yourself, things could change. But I'm hoping and praying that it doesn't. Well, I like the idea of Nick Young starting. And here's my reason why I like Nick Young starting. Number one, he's a veteran. And it's okay to have veterans mixed in with the youth as long as they're producing. Nick Young does not have to score every night. And we as fans got to stop having that mindset that, he can't score, he can't do this, he can't do that, or bad shot selection, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, a lot of players take bad shot selections. The other things, the other tangibles that they bring to the team is the things that most players don't pay attention to. Well, not players, but fans. One of the things that I like is defense. I always was a big defensive player. I love defensive players because I like when, you get a block or get a steal and you're transitioning, you get an easy layup, fast breaks, dunks. It makes it much more smoother when you're playing good D. And I said earlier that the Lakers really need a man-to-man defender because at the end of the day, our perimeter defense is still kind of suspect. Now, with Nick Young, with the emergence of Nick Young playing the way he's playing, it's a wonderful thing to watch this guy play because he's playing way different than he played the previous years that he was with the Lakers. A lot of people say, oh, he's finished, blah, blah, blah. Listen, under Byron Scott, and I'm a big Byron Scott supporter. Anybody that follow me know how much I feel about Byron Scott. I feel, though, that Byron Scott, he got the bad end of the stick. But it's all good. I'm hoping Byron Scott, let bygones be bygones and don't allow this to eat him up. But that's a different story for a different day. But when he was under Byron Scott, Nick Young couldn't shoot no threes. Byron Scott's old-fashioned. He didn't want them shooting threes. He preferred them to take jump shots and go to the basket to draw fouls. Me personally, there's nothing wrong with that, but at the end of the day, you got to have an all-around game. You can't be just one-dimensional. When you're one-dimensional, a lot of teams can figure you out, and it's easy for teams to, to beat you, especially when they be starting to become isolation. So Nick Young, he came out and said that, Byron Scott didn't like the three ball a lot. And Nick Young, that's his specialty, the three ball. So that's why you didn't really get to see a lot of Nick Young. Now, you've seen a lot of Nick Young the previous year because Kobe went down and we didn't really have nobody. So it was just Nick Young and Jordan Clarkson. So it was a big difference. They let him, roll, and Jeremy Lin. But now, the next year, which was the last year, they didn't really play Nick Young as much. Fans turned on him based on the D'Angelo Russell situation. And everybody was talking about get him out of there. There was so many rumors about Nick Young getting traded here, Nick Young getting that. I came out with mad videos, putting the rumors to rest to let everybody know Nick Young wasn't being traded. People still say, oh, he needs to be traded. He needs to go. And I told guys, we can't be biased. Mostly everybody on that team last year had a bad game. Everybody, even down to Kobe. And Kobe was broken down. But everybody had a bad game, a bad season. And the biggest problem that really, not really frustrate me, but upset me is that we quick to just point fingers at certain individuals, but we want to look at the whole team. Like, I can go through the whole team and tell you what this individual did last year. And that's my thing. Like, I was telling people at the end of the day that, we got to be fair across the board. We got to give all these guys a shot. Now, I know I made a video about Lou Williams, and I know I make a video about Mozgov. Now, the Lou Williams situation, like I said before, the difference is that Lou Williams in his 5 years, the Lou Williams in his 11, 12 years in the league, he was not known for playing defense, only known for offense. Played a little bit defense this first game in Houston. But the only problem I have with Lou Williams is just his size. That's it, because we got too many guys that's at his height, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3". So we got to make moves with Lou Williams because at the end of the day, you got to figure out where you're going to get who's going to be on the floor, who's going to get the playing time if you got everybody playing the same position, because Lou Williams can't guard a lot of those big twos. So that's the only reason I said about Lou Williams. And Mozgov is just that when I watch him play from Denver, Cleveland, I just see like this over and over again. The matchups is hurting Mozgov. A lot of pick and roll screens and stuff like that. And Mozgov is just slow getting back on his feet. Like a quicker center will actually get around him quicker. Get easily up, easy dunks. And I'm not really going to make this video about Myles Gov or Lou Williams. But at the end of the day, like I said before, I've been said before the Lakers picked up Myles Gov, I didn't really agree with the pickup. But then I say, okay, well, Lakers can't get nobody, so I understand. I'm not upset. A lot of people say, well, for 4 years. The reason why I think the Lakers did 4 years, and I'm going to definitely talk about that in another video, and I'm going to shock you guys, the reason why I think the Lakers did 4 years. And I'm going to hit you with that. But Nick Young, the reason why I want him at the 2 because of his height. He's 6'7". Right now, based on Luke Walton, remember, we're not there on the court. We're fans looking on the outside, looking in. Luke Walton and them are there, actually watching these guys play. So I got to agree with Luke Walton because he knows what he's doing. They won game 1. So at the end of the day, we can sit and criticize all day about this guy, that guy, this and that. At the end of the day, we still won game 1, regardless of how ugly, we might have looked. Some people's opinions, but we won game 1, and that's the most important thing of all because we can build off of that, the momentum, and say, you know what? If we can win game 1, we can win many more. Now, Nick Young, like I said, the reason why I like him at the 2 is because 2 things. Number 1, he's a shooter. He's 6'7", and he's playing tremendous defense from preseason up to game 1. I'm just hoping that it continues to carry on. I don't want him to have a lapse where all of a sudden he just break down and there's no defense. So with him and D'Angelo Russell back there is cool because D'Angelo Russell, if D'Angelo Russell can start penetrating like what Jordan Clarkson was doing, if he could penetrate, just add that to his repertoire. Now I know he penetrates sometime, but not a lot because he's more of a shooter than a penetrator. But if he like the thing is, Nick Young was cold, but once D'Angelo Russell start finding Nick Young, you just imagine Nick Young can at least put up 12, 13 points. I'm not expecting Nick Young to score 18, 20 points. That's not what I'm looking for at Nick Young. One thing I like about Nick Young is that I've been saying this over and over again. We need a defender on the perimeter. Nick Young right now is our best defender on the perimeter. JC played pretty good too. I'm not going to knock JC, but like I said about JC is it's nothing wrong with him coming off the bench, and I'll explain about that a little bit more in detail in another video. But Nick Young starting is cool, and I agree with Mike from Lakers Talk. Even though he should not be getting a lot of minutes though. I mean 18, 20 minutes, that's cool, but I think right now Luke Walton is giving everybody a chance to play because I look at the rotation. They rotating a lot of people in there. The only person that didn't get to play is Zubac and T. Rob. They the only 2 that really getting played. Metta World Peace even got an opportunity to play. So, and while Calderon, he's out, but they rotate. Luke Walton rotated real heavy, and he was trying to find matchups that actually to disrupt the opponent's defense. Or offense. How he was just basically trying to find matchups to fit in to see what he can do. And that's why Nick Young was on the floor a lot. A lot of people say, well, he got the floor, blah, blah. I like I said, I totally agree with Mike from Lakers Talk, because I think that he shouldn't be on the floor as much. But at the same time, when you're playing good defense, you don't try to mess that up, to get other players on the floor. That's another reason why D'Angelo Russell sat on the bench for so long, because that second unit came in and it was rolling. You know what I'm saying? And Nick Young came in. Like I said, he got a couple of little stupid fouls towards the end, but I can take that because he came out and played good defense. And like I said, it's length, height, and all that. And I like to eventually see Brandon Ingram play that too in the future, because the way Brandon Ingram bring the ball down, he's already comfortable already, and Luke Walton is already having confidence in him bringing the ball down. So that'd be a good thing once Brandon Ingram get going. And if we decide to keep Nick Young, I don't know what they're going to do, because I think his contract up the next year. So if they decide to keep Nick Young, that's cool. If not, that's all good. But I'm hoping that, like I said before, at the end of the day, I prefer Nick Young to get playing time so his stock value can go up, so that we do make a trade with him and Lou Williams, it wouldn't be so bad. But hope that we get somebody in return that's going to be a defender, just a straight up stopper, because we need something on that perimeter to help them guys out, especially while D'Angelo Russell's still learning. Jordan Clarkson starting to get better on his defense. So everything is starting to click right now, and I'm happy that Nick Young is starting. And like I said, at the end of the day, guys, it's a beautiful thing. We got game 1. Let's get ready for game 2. Y'all have a blessed day. Get in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about Nick Young starting. Do you agree or disagree? As always, it's your man, Urban Lover. I love you guys. And most of all, as I always say, definitely be safe out there.